No, no, I'm not a Marine. I'm not a member of the United States Marine Corps. No, I'm not. But, Legio Patria Nostra, I am a former Legionnaire. Légion étrangère. And as a Legionnaire, because once Legionnaire, always Legionnaire, I will react to Jarhead. Welcome to the Marines. So, hello friends of the French for Legion, I am greeting you. You are welcome on my channel. No coffee, no worky. Let's drink a little bit coffee and then do our job, right? I think Schulz agrees with me. So, my name is Thomas Gast. I have never been in the US Army and I have never been a Marine. I've never served in the United States Marine Corps. But today my aim is to react to the movie, not to the movie, but to the scene. Jarhead, Welcome to the Marine Corps. It's a small movie, duration about what? Not even 5 minutes. And I've been long time of my life in the French for Legion, starting from 85 to 2002. And my first 2 years I worked in French Guyana on the jungle training camp in, also on the jungle training camp in Regina, Corsica, you know, CFE, Centre d'Entraînement Forêt Équatoriale. And there we had once a company of the United States Marine Corps. So I know a little bit who these men are, what's behind the matter or the fact being a Marine. And I talked with a lot of Marines in my life, in my career as a Legionnaire. Later on I had to do with US soldiers in Puerto Rico. We have been there to train and make training and maneuver with the Navy SEAL Team 4 in Roosevelt Roads, Rosie. And we talked a lot with the Navy SEALs, with the Navy SEAL Team 4. And you know, as you know better than I do, the SEALs are real professional soldiers. So I know a little bit about their mentality, what it means to be a US soldier. And today, my reaction, Jarhead, Welcome to the Marine Corps. So I very well understood that the movie plays scenes from the Gulf War, 1991. And as you know better than I do, French troops were involved in the Gulf War. In English we called it Desert Storm, but in French we called it Opération Daguet. And I think France was involved with about 18,000 soldiers. And among these soldiers, of course, a lot of French foreign legionnaires. And let me tell you one thing, maybe you don't know it. The first troops on the ground who crossed the border from Kuwait deep into Iraq has not been US soldiers, not British soldiers, Legionnaires coming from the 1st REC, Premier Regiment Étranger de Cavalry, you know, and from the 2nd REI, Deuxième Regiment Étranger d'Infanterie. And let me tell you that my unit, 2nd Rep, Paratroopers of the French Foreign Legion, hasn't or have not been part of Opération Daguet, but the CRAP, Commando de Recherche et d'Action dans la Profondeur, with 2 teams, 2 10-man teams, and they have been also involved in the attack of Fort Salman. Right? Jarhead is a psychological, heartbreaking masterpiece of a movie, telling the story of a young soldier, a young Marine going there in a foreign country and fighting for whatever reason. And it took me really by my bollocks, having seen the movie Jarhead for the first time, you know. It's a military drama based on Anthony Swofford's memories, you know. When our troops went into Iraq in 91, doing their job, we were sitting in Calvi, you know, in the bars, looking television and observing the Gulf War via television. And me, myself, and we prepared to go to Chad, Opération Épervier. Yeah, in fact, it was the first Gulf War. That's what the British people call the war, and the people from the United States, but it wasn't. Because the first Gulf War was the war between Iran and Iraq. Right? I'm right? No?
Or brown or yellow or red. You are now green. You are light green or dark green. Do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir!
Yes, we saw here the first 5 or 6 seconds of the movie. You could see a drill inspector, I think his name was Fitch, something like that. And we have a right row and a left row soldiers standing there, looking and hearing what the drill inspector telling them. And I think that, in my opinion, a drill inspector or drill sergeant, you have to be a very big comedian. He's playing his role, you know. As a drill inspector in any army of the world, you have to play your role. You have to be a good actor. And that's what Fitch did in this scene, you know. And he told the soldiers that from now on, they are not red, yellow, brown, gray, whatever. From this day on, you are green, light green, dirt green, leaf green, earth green, whatever. Thomas Gast green. And this is typical, because as a soldier, you need to have identification. You must identify yourself to a unit, to a corps, to a company, to a brigade, whatever. When you join the French Legion, from now on, that's what they tell you, you are a fucking legionnaire. Forget everything what was behind you. Forget your past. From now on, from this day on, you are a fucking legionnaire. And this is what counts. And the drill inspector told the boys, from now on, you are Marine, you are green, you are one of us. And this is very important. You know, and then later on, when we came to the second rep, paratrooper, the only paratrooper regiment of the French Legion, they command you to serve in a different company. First company, second company, third company, fourth or fifth company. And each company has a color code. So I was ordered to join the first company of the second rep. And I was green, because the color of my company was green. Green, not red, not dark blue, not gray, not yellow, green. I was a green boy from the first company of the second rep. And our domain was combat in urban warfare. It was an identification within the second rep, within the French Foreign Legion. I was green, like a Marine, but I was a legionnaire. That's the difference. And this is a huge difference. But all in all, we are brothers in arms. That's the point. Identification as a soldier. This is very important. Very important. So, drill sergeant, good job. Good job to remind your boys who they are. As a drill inspector, you must do your fucking job. And it's not always a good job. So let me tell you that in the French Legion, we do not have drill inspectors like this. But we have, of course, our boot camp. In my time, the boot camp has been the Caserne La Passée, the old Caserne La Passée. And now it's the Caserne or Quartier du Capitaine d'Anjou. And our boot camp is for 17 weeks. 17 weeks, blood, sweat, and tears. And the drill inspectors of the boot camps, of the Legionnaire boot camp, are called caporals. When you are caporal in the French Legion, in Castelnaudary, for instruction and for the boot camp, you are the boys' drill inspector. And I have been one of these drill inspectors, because I served as a caporal in the 4th RE 3 months for preparing young legionnaires to joining their final regiment. I was a drill inspector à la Légion étrangère, right? And what is the difference between a US Marine Corps or United States Marine Corps drill inspector and a Legion's drill inspector called caporal? The difference is easy to understand. We talk less. We do more action. And when I order a young legionnaire to do 50 fucking push-ups, I can do the 50 fucking push-ups as well. And I will show him. And when I order the legionnaire to do 50 push-ups, I will fall immediately beside him and I will do with him 50 fucking push-ups. Because I am an example. You know what I mean? I ask not a legionnaire to do things I cannot do. Okay? When he must go through 50 push-ups, I will go through 50 push-ups with him. This is the difference between a Legionnaire's drill sergeant called Caporal and a United States Marine Corps drill inspector or drill sergeant or whatever. It's a huge difference. And guess what's the best?
I got lost on the way to college, sir!
Yeah, in this scene we have seen the drill inspector, what was his name, Fitch, I don't know, I don't remember, taking the head of Swofford and push the head brutally against the wall. And I saw this once in the French Legion. I was adjutant and the sergeant-chef took the head of a young legionnaire and punched him against the wall like the drill sergeant with Swofford. And I didn't agree. I was very angry on the sergeant-chef. And I told him, after the legionnaire has been taken to the to the infirmary, and I ordered him to see me, and I told him clearly that I do not agree with physical abuse like this. You know, the only time I legalize this, and the only time I say, okay, you have done right, is when a superior, when a commander, when a sergeant-chef, an adjutant, a caporal, or whatever, a superior has been aggressed physically. So when you are legionnaire and you put your hands on a superior, on your caporal, on your sergeant-chef, of course, the punishment is immediate. Is immediate. Immediate what means instantane. Sofort. Huh? And the response of the superior is brutal because you are not allowed. You are never allowed to touch a superior. Huh? Never touch your caporal, never touch your sergeant, never touch your adjutant or your officers, because the punishment will be very hard, very quick, and you will end up in jail. But when this don't happen, superiors have not to punish the legionnaires in a way that the drill inspector has done with Swofford, as we have seen in the movie. Okay, it was a movie. And I suppose that the United States Corps or United States Marine Corps, they don't punish men like this, as we have seen in this scene. Jarhead, welcome to the Marine Corps. I hope it, because it's not okay. Never abuse them physically. Not for nothing, not for peanuts. It's not okay, right? Talk with them, have hard talks, but don't touch them if there is not a real good reason. And there's only one reason. And this is when the soldiers touch you. Never let a soldier touch you. Never. Soldiers, even recruits, the boot camp are your life guarantee. They can be one day your life guarantee. They are your fucking brothers in arms. Treat them well. Treat them well. And you know, there's one difference also between United States Marine Corps and French Legion, is that when you are today drill sergeant in the boot camp, you might find yourself one day out there with the boys in combat. And then they will remind you. They know your face, they know your name. And maybe they know what to do when you have been a big asshole. So, okay, you know what to do. You know what is your job. Treat them well and everything is good. Treat them hard. Show them the real hardness of life as a soldier. Tell them what you want from them, what you expect them to do. Kick them in the ass. But be always fair. Treat your recruits in the same way you want to be treated yourself. No difference. Never. So in the end of the movie, we can find some physical abuse. And I am against physical abuse. I have been 17 years in the French Foreign Legion. Never a commander, never a platoon leader, never a sergeant or a caporal, nor a drill inspector hits me. Never. I was never physically abused. And I never did so when I was a commander, when I was a drill sergeant, when I was sergeant, sergeant-chef, or adjutant. Never. It never came to the point where I had to abuse physically a legionnaire. Nevertheless, by this saying, a legionnaire in the boot camp, sometimes you have to kick him in the ass. A big kick in the ass. This is to remind him that we expect him to be an elite soldier. This is to remind him that when he goes to combat, it's tough. He needs to react. He needs to act. He needs to be quick. He needs to bring his ass down. And he needs to shoot better than the adversary. That's why we give him sometime in instruction, in the boot camp, a big kick in the ass. And let me tell you, a big kick in the ass in the boot camp has saved many lives in the real time in operation later out there. A big kick in the ass is not, I hate you or you're a fucking idiot. No, that means I love you and I want you to survive when it comes to combat. I want you to come back alive. You and your brothers in arms. That's why I kick you in the ass. This is a good procedure I went through and I made them went through when I was a drill inspector, a drill sergeant called caporal myself. I'm your friend. I'm your superior. I'm your commander. I am your platoon leader. I am your instructor. I will give you a big kick in the ass because I want you to come back from combat. I want you to survive. I want you to be quicker than the enemy, better. I want you that you have the ability to act and to react. I want you that you are the better shooter and marksman out there. I want you to give you a chance staying alive by kicking you in your fucking ass. And this is the message. This is very important. This is the soldier's daily important lesson to take. Right? I remember my time in the French Foreign Legion in the first 2 years in French Guyana in the 3rd REI, 3e Regiment Étranger d'Infanterie. And we had 2 fighting companies. Was the 3rd company, the 2nd company. 2nd company was the Reds, had been the Reds. Yeah? And in this company, we had a lot of British guys. And every time a young British recruit comes directly from Krasnodar to the 3rd REI, joining the 2nd company, he has been very welcomed by his buddies. You know what they did? You know what they did? You may not believe it. You may not believe it. Okay? They made them drunk. They made them drunk. 1 Kronenburg. No. 10 Kronenburgs. 10 Kronenburgs and more. Then they went upstairs with him. 3rd floor. They put a rucksack on his back. Synonym to be, meant to be a parachute. Then they put a helmet. Wait. They put a helmet on his head. They put a helmet on his head. They opened the window and they ordered him to jump out of the window.